Here we are on the beautiful Bahamas, middle of the Ragged Islands. We do some engine checks. Starboard engine. Climb down here. Always check the sail drive oil levels and the engine oil levels, water coolant as well, and just a general engine inspection before we get ready to fire her up. So just checking the oil. It's difficult to do it with holding the camera and doing it with one hand, but essentially checking the dipstick, line 1, line 2, you want between the two lines. As you can see, when I put it down, it came up to about 3/4 full. Whoopsie, 3/4 full on the dipstick. That's all well and good. So pop it back in there, give it a screw it back in. It's all good to go on that side. You got to clean it first, then you do a dip. When you're dipping, I suppose a bit go through that process as well. When you're dipping, you don't screw it all the way in. You just drop it on the top, pull it out, and then check the oil. So you put it on the top like that, and then you test it. You don't screw it in, unscrew it, and then test it. If that makes any sense. Next on to the oil. I think I can do that one-handed without spilling too much oil. Yep. Okay. So clean the dipstick. 2 lines. Can you see that? My career as a cameraman, it's probably not going to be very fruitful. And level. So you can see the level there. Check both sides, but the level is quite high. Nowhere near the top line, but nowhere near the bottom line. So we're all good on the oil. The oil looks good as well, nice and clean. The oil change was only done a few 20-30 hours ago, so that's why it feels still fairly clean. Cool level is fine. Everything else looks fine from an engine perspective. Okay.
Oh yeah.
About to put the engines on. Engine panels there. Top one is for port because it's offset to port. Bottom one is for starboard, offset to starboard. That's the way to remember it. Different panels because reasons. That's how we bought her. Check that we're neutral on the gear sticks. Starboard engine, power on. Wait for the whine. Start button. A bit tricky to get to. And she's purred to life. It's a bit tricky to get to with this thing. It didn't feel like it was hard to get to the last panel, but anyway. Check the ladder. Boom, good flow. Alright. Got her hours on her. Temperature's coming up nicely. Brightness. 3.5 bars, completely normal for when she first fires up. Cold start. All right, let's start the same one for port side. On primer, you can feel a thump turn over. Oil pressure comes up, roughly 4 bars is completely normal. Temperature gauge, you'll start to come up. They'll both run at exactly 80 degrees, 78, 79, maybe touching on 80. Both engines run like clockwork in that regard. Sub 1,000 RPM at idle. And then we'll go on the port side and go check the water, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so today we only used the engines just to get off the anchor and get us settled up for a bit of a sail. So you can see the temperature gauges haven't come up very high. 66 degrees and 55, 60 degrees on port. They're idling at the moment. They have been idling for the last few minutes. You can see the oil pressure at idle after running for maybe 5-10 minutes. 2.5 and 2.1 on starboard side. Preferred the analog ones. I think it's a bit more accurate than it's digital to the analog, but it's just how it is. And then we'll just do engine off. Engine off on port side. Stop button. And off. Just to get the rev counter to come back down again. Just give it a little whoops. There you go. All fine on the port side. Starboard side, similar sort of thing. Stop button.
all's well with the world.